Being the girl that barely asks for anything will get you exactly that. Nothing. He doesn't think you're more worthy just because you don't ask for anything. As a matter of fact, he thinks, wow, this woman is so easy to please. Like, I barely have to do anything. I'm the man. Turning yourself into a martyr by not asking for anything or only requesting the bare minimum is going to have you resentful and feeling used. He needs to be afraid to lose you, not the other way around. Hello, beautiful people. In this video, I'm going to identify what a nice girl is. We're going to talk about everything from how to set boundaries, your people-pleasing mentality, your subconscious programming, and how to cultivate more self-worth and self-love. And finally, how to have higher standards. So stay tuned if you want to hear more of that, and these are the chapters where I talk about everything, so you can jump around to whatever feels right for you. When you grow up with a people-pleasing mentality, it's very difficult to set boundaries because you are operating in a way where you think that you have to do things for people in order to get their love, in order to get their affection. You think that doing equates to you being worthy, and that's not true. You're worthy for just being. I feel like we as women in this society, a lot of us have been programmed to be the nice girls, been programmed to override our judgment, override our instincts in order to please people, please the crowd, please the masses, and that has to stop. A lot of the time when you have that mentality, you're not actually being true to your authentic self. You're doing things begrudgingly. I know a lot of us heard growing up that nice girls don't do that. Like, if your parents wanted you to do something like greet a stranger that you didn't know and you didn't really care to do that, they're like, oh yeah, nice girls don't do that. Just be nice, just be whatever. That's what women are socialized to believe. And what happens is later on in life, you still have that subconscious programming going on in you that is telling you, oh, let me just be nice and tell this person it's nice to meet them even though they're a complete asshole. Let me just be nice and stay on this date with this person who completely catfished me, is hideous, won't pay the bill, is rude to the waiter, and all this type of, all these glaring red flags that they possess, but you're staying at that dinner table to be nice. That has to stop. Nice girls finish last. All right, so let's get into it. Setting boundaries. We know where the people-pleasing mentality comes from. That's just how society has socialized us. We know that that is just the way that they teach women to be martyrs so that we could help progress men. You see this play out a lot in family dynamics, which is where mom guilt comes from. Women feel terribly about themselves just for trying to put themselves first for 1 hour out of the entire week when there's a family involved, when there's a wife and there's a husband and there's children and all of that. So it's like you see that play out in every level of society when it comes to women. Setting boundaries is one of the first steps to eradicating this nice girl behavior, because when you know where the line is, you know where people cannot go past. If you don't have any boundaries, it's extremely difficult for you to create rules and regulations for how people are going to treat you in your life. It means that how person A treats you can be completely different to how person B treats you, because you are not the one creating the standards and the boundaries for your life. You're allowing outside people to do that for you. And I think that is not going to be conducive to you being the girl who gets what she wants out of life, because that means you're just allowing everybody to give you what they want to give you. So in order to set boundaries, like I said, you have to figure out where the line is, meaning journal about it, think about it, write about it, do voice memos. Think about the times in your life where your boundaries had been crossed and you felt like crap about it. You hated it. You hated yourself for allowing that to happen. Channel those emotions. Don't just sweep it under the rug. Channel that and figure out what you did wrong in that situation, what you wish you would have done, what your higher self will do next time, and use that in order to create your rules and regulations for your life. So for example, let's say dating. I feel like dating is a super easy example. In the dating and mating marketplace, if you are the nice girl, you have no boundaries on who you allow to spend time with you. And a lot of the time, let's really be honest, the quality is not there when it comes to male counterparts. So you have a lot more chances of picking up trash if you have no filter on who you allow into your space, who you allow to talk to you. When you actually get to the interaction that you're having with this person and you see that they're crossing your boundaries or they're crossing other people's boundaries, or they're disrespectful, or it's just not what you signed up for, it's not what you want, depending on the severity, it's just completely okay to just get up and walk away. To be like, you know what, thank you so much for this outing. Like, I mean, not really, but like, I had a time and I no longer want to continue having this time, so I'm going to leave. I hope you have a great rest of your life. And it sounds harsh, it sounds mean, but it's like, is it though? Like, is it really harsh and mean to tell somebody, I do not want to spend any more time here with you because it is draining me and I have to put myself first because I literally do not even know you? Set your boundaries, and when people cross them, bounce. And there is a different way to do this in all situations of your life. For example, if you have friends that are already in your life and you're starting to implement these new boundaries, give them the grace to get used to this new version of you. Because if you were a person that, if I called you every week and I was able to vent to you, or I was able to borrow money from you, like if I did that every single week and you had no problem with it, it's going to take some time for me to realize that, oh, this is not the person she is anymore, because that's the experience I've had with you this entire time. So the people in your life, you have to give them grace in order to catch up with the new version of you. And this is especially true for people you want to keep in your life, like people who you enjoy having in your life. So just keep that in mind. When you're setting boundaries, you don't have to overcompensate by being a jerk, by being mean. Like, it's very easy to set a boundary. It's like, I don't really have time for this right now. Thank you, but no thank you. I'm not really interested in going on a date with you right now. Thank you, but no thank you. I don't really have the money to be giving you right now. Thank you, but no thank you. And you could just leave it at that. If you are or were a people pleaser, which you probably were because you're a nice girl, it's going to take some time to rewire yourself. Your nervous system is going to react when you tell people no, when you tell people that you are not able to do the thing that you have always been able to do. But that is not a signal to stop. That is a signal to keep going. That is a signal that you are uncomfortable right now, but the future version of you knows that in order to get what she wants out of life, you're gonna have to be uncomfortable for a little while until it becomes your natural. And that's really it. You have to sit with that discomfort, because the alternative is going back to being a nice girl, going back to being a doormat, going back to getting yourself walked all over. And who wants that? Being a nice girl also, more often than not, has you auditioning for love. And when you're a woman, auditioning for love is probably the worst thing you can do when it comes to receiving love and attaining a partner. Because when you're auditioning for love, it means that you are in your masculine energy. You are pushing out, you're doing in order for you to receive love. And that is not the way the masculine loves their partner. The masculine loves the partner when they're doing something for them. They feel love by doing for you. And if you are the one constantly doing for them, they don't see it as, oh yeah, she's like amazing, like she does all this stuff for me. They see it as, oh, she's like, what else can I get her to do? They're gonna just keep pushing the boundary, pushing the line, towing the line. What else can I get her to do? She does literally everything for me. I can't believe I'm worthy of all of this. Like, maybe I can get more. That's how they think. So when you're auditioning for love, when you're trying out for love, when you're trying to get someone to love, you're already in a losing game. You're already losing. Like, you need to go for men and partners who like you, love you more than you like them. And even if you like them the same or you like them more, don't let them see it. And I know it's all games. This is just human nature. This is how masculine and feminine polarity works. If you want to go against it, if you want to fight human nature, you could do that all you want. But when you don't get the results you want because people's brains has been wired this way for 100,000 years, and you think you could change him in 1 year, you're insane. It's not gonna work. I mean, there's an off chance that it does. If you try something enough times, I mean, something is gonna land. But do you want to suffer? Do you want to suffer? Do you like suffering? Is that something you're a fan of? Because that's not what God has planned for you. He doesn't want you suffering for love, auditioning for love. Please. Auditioning for love comes from a place of low self-worth and low self-esteem. If you believe that you have to do things in order to prove why you are worthy of being in someone's life, it means you're asking the wrong person. It means you are in the wrong situation. The harder it is, the more resistance you feel, the more you have to do, the more that's just your body and your nervous system and the universe and God and literally everything telling you that this is not what you're supposed to be part of. And you're continuing to stay because you're hard-headed? No. Stop it. Get some self-worth and some self-love. A way that I have been doing this very, very recently, just like leveling up my consciousness, is by saying affirmations. Like listening to the thoughts that you're having on a regular basis. Like sit there and observe your thoughts. Make it a point every day to observe your thoughts. You won't be able to observe all of them because we have 60,000 thoughts per day, and 95% of them are thoughts that we had yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. But the more you stay conscious of your thoughts, the more you know what programming is going on in your mind that is causing you to receive the reactions and receive the reality that you are experiencing. Because your reality is a mirror of your thoughts. Your reality is a mirror of your mind. And the more you get your mind in order, the easier it is for you to see evidence of this new life. If you tell yourself that you are worthy, if you talk to yourself like you are worthy, if you talk to yourself like you are amazing, you are beautiful, anybody would be lucky to have you in their life, and you act like it, you walk like it, you talk like it, you think like it, the universe has no choice but to show you somebody, to bring somebody into your life, to bring opportunities into your life, to bring things into your life that mirror exactly that. You program your subconscious, and your mind will allow you to see situations where you are worthy, where you feel self-love, because self-love is where it all starts. Well, your mind is where it all starts, but self-love is the goal. Self-love is where you stop being a people pleaser, because you're like, this doesn't feel right to me. My nervous system is not happy with it. My body doesn't like it. My brain doesn't like it. Everything is telling me to run away from this. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to run away, because I know that opportunities are always right around the corner. I know that I live in an abundant universe. I am abundant. And that means if it doesn't work out with this person, I don't have to nice my way through it so that he could stay with me, so that we could live together, so we could be together. No, I am abundant. I live in an abundant universe. And because of that, if this person's not doing what they need to do, and I feel like I have to audition for their love because they're being nonchalant, they're being standoffish, I could just go. Like, stop that nice girl behavior and realize that you are worthy. Stop that nice girl behavior and realize that if someone doesn't love you the way that you love yourself at the bare minimum, what's the point? Like, what is the actual point? If you let your fear guide you in situations, in relationships, then you will stay in places that were never meant for you. You will stay in places that you were supposed to be in for like a day. He was supposed to teach you one lesson, but now here you are, like, hurt, struggling, roughed up, like just suffering. Don't do it. Don't do it. Having high self-worth and self-love and confidence and all of the beautiful things will lead you to having higher standards. And higher standards leads you to having better situations, to living a better life. I am the kind of person where if I can't do it the way that I want to do it, I don't want to do it at all. For every stage I've ever been in life, I've always strove. I've always strived, one of those. I always wanted to go for the highest quality that I could possibly get through and through. It was never like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna get the bare minimum because of whatever reason. I like quality in life. I like to get the best out of life. That is the key to having high standards, is to have high standards for yourself and then allow that to play into the rest of your life. Start setting standards for yourself. Start setting discipline. Start setting a bare minimum that you will require from everybody else, because that is what snaps you out of nice girlhood. When you have high standards for yourself, you don't acquiesce to every request that is sent your way, to everything that is handed to you, because you know what? You have a high filter. You're like, no, this is not up to par. Like, no, thank you. And you're completely okay with expressing that, which also brings me to nice versus kind. I'm gonna look up the definition of nice versus kind. So nice is a self-centered behavior pattern where you're acting in a pleasing manner to be a nice person and get people to like you. So you're literally just manipulating people into liking you by being a false version of yourself, which makes you get further and further from your real self, which makes you feel more disconnected from yourself, which makes you feel worse about yourself, which makes you feel less confident, have less self-esteem, feel less love for yourself because you're not even acting like yourself. How could you love something that you don't even know? You don't even know yourself anymore. And kind is a behavior pattern where you're acting in the best interests of others out of a sense of love, empathy, and compassion. So I will leave some of these infographics about the difference between nice and kind. I turned the air conditioning on, so you might hear a little hum in the background, but it's really hot, so I can't suffer any longer. Yeah, last thing I was gonna say is, when you're a nice girl, nice girls are motivated by the need to be liked. And the need to be liked means that you are at the whim of everyone who could possibly not like you. And newsflash, that's literally everyone. There is potential for anyone to not like you, and you trying to manipulate everyone into liking you by being nice to them, and that sacrifices yourself, that sacrifices your values. Not a smart way to do it. Yeah, so that is the end of this video. An actionable step I would like for you to take after this video is figuring out where your need to be nice came from, and talking to that version of you, getting into a meditative state, speaking to her and telling her exactly what she needed to hear. Tell her that it is okay for her to have boundaries. Tell her that it is okay for her to upset people in the pursuit of her authenticity. And let's heal the nice girls in all of us. Because honestly, that's a huge red flag when it comes to dating, relationships, and just people in general. And if you want to know more about that, check out this video in the cards and in the end screen. Thank you so much for watching. I had a great time chatting with you. Later.